The animal kingdom has a dating problem. Not awkward first dates or bad text etiquette. Actual biological horror. These are creatures that evolved reproduction strategies so extreme, so bizarre, so occasionally fatal, that you'll never complain about your love life again. Anglerfish. The male never goes on a date. He just finds a female, bites her, and dissolves. His entire body, eyes, organs, fins, slowly merges into hers until he's nothing but a sperm-producing attachment fused to her bloodstream. One female can collect up to 8 males this way, each one surrendering his entire existence for the chance to reproduce. The male never eats independently again, never swims again, never exists as a separate animal again. He just becomes part of her. Scientists didn't even realize the tiny lumps on female anglerfish were males for decades. They thought they were tumors. That's how completely he disappears. Deep ocean romance, where love is literally self-erasure. But at least the male gets to find the female himself. Some animals skip that step entirely. Honeybee. The male honeybee, called a drone, has exactly one purpose. He exists to mate with a queen, and the moment he succeeds, he dies. Not slowly, instantly. His reproductive organ tears away from his body during mating, left behind as a plug inside the queen, and he falls to the ground dead within seconds. The queen then mates with up to 15 more drones in the same flight, collecting enough genetic material to last her entire lifetime. Every drone in that flight dies the same way. The ones who don't get to mate are driven out of the hive before winter and left to starve. There is no version of this story where the male survives. Evolution apparently decided reproduction was the only thing worth building him for. One flight, one moment, done. At least it's quick. Other creatures stretch the suffering considerably longer. Redback spider. The female redback spider is 50 times larger than the male. He's aware of this. He mates with her anyway, and then, in roughly 65% of documented cases, actively assists her in eating him. Mid-mating, he somersaults his abdomen directly toward her fangs. Scientists studied this carefully and confirmed it's not accidental. The male genuinely facilitates his own consumption. The reason is grimly logical. Females who eat their mates during mating produce more offspring, more eggs, stronger young. His death is a biological investment. The ones who get eaten actually reproduce more successfully than the ones who escape. Evolution turns self-sacrifice into a competitive advantage. He's not a victim, he's a strategy, but spiders at least operate on instinct. Some animals perform elaborate rituals and still end up worse off. Pufferfish. The male pufferfish spends 7 to 9 days creating an intricate geometric sand sculpture on the ocean floor. A perfectly symmetrical mandala, nearly 6 feet wide, with ridged peaks and valleys arranged with architectural precision. He fans the sand with his fins for days without stopping. No food, no rest, just geometry. If a female swims over and approves, she lays eggs in the center and leaves. She doesn't stay. She doesn't help raise the young. She simply grades his work and departs. If it doesn't meet her standards, he gets nothing. The entire structure collapses within days regardless. He starts over next season. 7 days of obsessive labor for a few seconds of approval that might not even come. The ocean floor's most devoted artist, building masterpieces that disappear. Still, at least the pufferfish keeps his body intact. The same cannot be said for everyone on this list. Praying mantis. The female praying mantis occasionally bites the male's head off during mating. Not before, during. And the headless male continues. His body keeps going for up to an hour after decapitation because the nerve ganglia controlling the mating reflex are located in his abdomen, not his brain. Removing the head actually removes inhibitory signals and can intensify the behavior. She'll then consume the rest of him over the following hours, absorbing the nutrients to invest in her eggs. It doesn't happen in every case. Studies suggest roughly 25 to 30% of wild matings end this way, but the female always has the option. The male approaches anyway, cautiously, sometimes for hours before attempting contact. He knows the risk. He proceeds regardless. Commitment, taken to a conclusion most species never considered. But some animals make it stranger by removing themselves from the equation entirely. Argonaut octopus. The male Argonaut octopus detaches one of his arms, loads it with sperm, and sends it toward the female, alone. The arm, called a hectocotylus, swims independently toward her, attaches itself, and delivers the genetic material without the male present at all. Early scientists who discovered these roaming arms in the ocean thought they were a separate parasitic organism entirely. They named it before realizing it was just a detached limb on a mission. The male grows this arm specifically for this purpose and can only use it once. Afterward, he's significantly diminished and dies shortly after. The female can store multiple detached arms from different males simultaneously. She collects them like credentials. He sacrifices a limb and his future for a delivery that he'll never witness complete. Somewhere between brave and deeply strange. Though even that pales against what some birds put themselves through. Bowerbird. The male bowerbird builds an entire architectural structure called a bower, not a nest, just a dedicated performance stage, and fills it with hundreds of carefully curated objects. Blue bottle caps, flowers, beetle shells, berries, glass fragments, anything that matches his preferred color palette. He arranges and rearranges them obsessively, sometimes for weeks. Then he dances. A rehearsed, increasingly frantic performance involving wing displays, specific calls, and careful object presentation. The female watches, assesses, and leaves. She may visit dozens of bowers before choosing. If she's not impressed, he rebuilds and tries again next season. Males who collect more objects, build more symmetrically, and perform more precisely win more often. It's a full-stack audition. Construction, curation, choreography, and charisma, all evaluated by a female who gives nothing away until she's already decided. He never knows how close he came. He just keeps arranging the bottle caps. Flatworm. Flatworms are simultaneous hermaphrodites, meaning every individual has both male and female reproductive organs. Neither wants to be the female. Being the female costs more energy. So instead of courtship, they fight. Two flatworms meet and engage in what biologists actually call penis fencing, a sometimes hour-long duel where each tries to inject the other with sperm using needle-sharp appendages, while evading being injected themselves. The loser, whoever gets successfully pierced first, becomes the female and absorbs the higher reproductive cost. The winner swims away. There's no tenderness here, no display, no selection. Just a biological argument settled by combat over who has to do the harder job. Nature at its most honest. The one that escapes carries the privilege. The one left behind carries the eggs. The pattern here isn't chaos. It's cold, ruthless optimization. Every one of these strategies, the self-erasure, the sacrifice, the 7-day sand mandala, the detached arm, exists because it worked. Because somewhere in evolutionary history, it produced more offspring than the alternative. Romantic by exactly zero definitions. Brutally effective by every biological one. The animal kingdom doesn't do courtship. It does whatever survives. If this made you feel significantly better about your own love life, there's plenty more where this came from. Subscribe, and don't stop here.